Hey guys, what's up? Happy 2014. It's been a crazy year for gaming. We saw the release of some next gen consoles and a bunch of really awesome games. I have played so many games in 2013, and I cannot wait to see what 2014 brings us. It's gonna be awesome. I kind of just wanted to talk about my top 5 games of 2013. I played a lot of games, but there was very few that I found myself absolutely enthralled and hooked on. You found your favorite game when all you do is think about a particular game or what you're going to do in this game, or just in general, search out discussions and topics and videos and hear other people's opinions on them. That's how I get about games that I really truly love. The games that you just stop and think about in the middle of the day and go, wow, that was an awesome game. I've just thought about a totally different part of the story. I'm probably going to receive a teensy bit of hate for my choices, but that's okay because they're my choices. These aren't my top 5 games of 2013. I am curious to know what your top 5 choices are. You can leave them in a comment. We can discuss them if you want. You can also leave rage-filled comments if you like. Go ahead and do it. It doesn't bother me any. You're just increasing my viewer counts when you do that, so it's cool. It really doesn't bother me when people are like, that choice sucks. Why did you make this video? It's stupid. Doesn't faze me a bit because haters gonna hate. What? So number 5 is Pokemon X and Y for the Nintendo 3DS. I am a huge fan of Pokemon. If you didn't already know, which you probably did. And X and Y was huge for the series in general. X and Y in general was very nostalgic for me. I felt like it was exactly what I had basically envisioned for next gen Pokemon, when I was a kid. You thought, oh, well, maybe Pokemon will come to a console. And obviously that didn't happen. It's always stayed handheld. But I mean, the series itself, obviously you got new Pokemon and some new features, but it never really, grew up. And I feel like it finally did grow up, but it's still pretty approachable for new audiences, if anything, more approachable. And I liked that it was a little more casual just because I don't have as much time to dedicate to Pokemon as I did when I was, I don't know, 10. So I loved it. It was a little easy, yes, for hardcore Pokemon trainers. They might scoff at it a bit, be like, wow, so easy. But I enjoyed it. I loved it. I love Pokemon. I love the series. So obviously it had to be in my top 5 for the year. Sorry, guys. Let's go on to number 4 on my list, which I don't have a physical copy for because I was so flippin' excited for this game that I downloaded it at 3 a.m. and then stayed up for another 10 hours playing this game. Holy crap, did I spend over 200 hours in this game. The only other game that I've spent that kind of time in that isn't a casual shooting game that you play every night with your friends would be Skyrim. And that's because I was also very obsessed with that game. But number 4, which I'm sure you're waiting, is Animal Crossing, again for the Nintendo 3DS. So yeah, Animal Crossing, I spent a lot of time. I even made a video about making flipping bells in the game because I was that obsessed with it. That obsessed. I mean, I have tabs in the strategy guide for as much as I used it and as much as I played the flipping game. Oh my god. So good though. So addictive. Loans and houses and crazy animals that want you to be your mayor. Such a good game. Such a good game. I've still been playing it because, again, I have the digital copy, so it's always there and always with me. And it's come, build another addition to your house. Come decorate. Come chop down trees. Number 3, such a controversial game. is Grand Theft Auto 5. Yep. Haters gonna hate. I already know it's coming. It was pretty good. I didn't get into it quite like I thought I would at the beginning, but once it gets going, awesome. I loved the mechanics of it. I loved the shooting. I had a lot of fun in it. I liked the soundtrack. The soundtrack was great, honestly. I think the Rockstar soundtracks in general are always very, very good, very well done. Great artists are chosen, and Radio Mirror Park for the win. Heck yeah. Snobby indie music, so good. So flippin' good. I made a channel on Spotify just for that music. But I really loved this game. I didn't think it was Game of the Year material, like hands down the best game of the year. That's why it's obviously my number 3, because it was pretty damn close, honestly. Pretty damn close. The graphics could have been a little bit better. The story could have made a little more sense at times, but I guess that's what I love about Grand Theft Auto, is that there really is no explaining why some of these things occur or why some of these characters are the way they are, but Trevor was a crazy character. I loved the rampages. Those were some of my favorite parts of the missions. Pretty much the whole game. I love to bullshit and screw around in games, and that let me do that while doing missions and running people over and running into things and driving cars fast, pimping out cars, repainting cars, getting money. Yeah. Good game. Really good game. A game in a series that I would easily rank in my top 10 overall games of all freaking time. And that's BioShock Infinite. I waited so long for this game to come out. I was up and down about whether I was going to really like this game or not. Luckily, I ended up really liking this game. It was very different, and I know a lot of people had a lot of negative things to say about it. They didn't like the system. They thought it was too bright. Well, oh well. I liked it a lot, actually. And I thought it was very, very true to the original formula of BioShock. And we can honestly just throw BioShock 2 out the window. Sorry. Let's just forget it ever happened, and let's just put BioShock, the original BioShock, and BioShock Infinite next to each other, and it stayed very, very true to the series. The only thing I didn't like is that it was a tidbit easy on normal. BioShock Infinite has honestly been one of the only games in my entire life that I have finished playing and then immediately played again. I literally, credits rolled, sat through it, was like, wow, that was an awesome game. I need to play it again. And immediately played it again. Just because there are so many tiny details that you can miss the first time around, and obviously you know more about the story, know more about the characters, so you catch on to things. And I've always been really OCD about the audio logs or voxophones in this version, so I had to collect those all, I had to get the achievements for it. I'm only a few achievements shy of 100% completion, just because I'm not going to flipping play it on the very hardest difficulty because it is hard as crap. I loved Booker. I just loved it all. It was a lot to take in. And this was one of the games in general that I was talking about where you just stop and you're like, wow, I didn't think about that. Holy crap. And, you search online and have discussions with other people about what you think each part meant and this and that. There's so many theories, just, oh my god, mind blown. But I try to stay away from, as much spoiling information as I possibly can because I want to go into these experiences just completely, unaware. So I get that full gaming experience, which I absolutely enjoy, and that's what I think is absolutely necessary for some of these games. So, my number 1 game for 2013 was Ni no Kuni: Wrath of the White Witch, because this game is awesome. Like I said that about every other game on my list. Now, this game really, really captured what the experience for me is about. The magic of playing games, especially when you're young, just in general, the whole area, the story. Like, there was parts where I was like, oh my god, I'm about to cry. This is making me teary. Because it's kind of sad when you think about that this poor little boy. But anyway, huge fan of Studio Ghibli. I love all of Miyazaki's movies. They're pretty important to me. I grew up with, My Neighbor Totoro and have absolutely loved his stuff ever since. So, the artwork in this game is incredible. And I'm not really like a huge JRPG person, so this was pretty new to me in general. So I really enjoyed the experience. It was a lot like Pokemon is for me, where it's such a huge, massive game that you dedicate tons of time to, and you're doing these tasks and traveling these really beautiful environments and just being a part of the story. And I love that about RPGs, just in general, because you get so into them. The experience alone is just like, wow. Sometimes you absolutely forget that you're playing a game because you're just like in this magical land doing crazy things with spell books. And I actually like had to have everything Ni no Kuni like after I played this, and I still haven't 100% completed it yet, which I plan to do. I'm actually still currently working on doing that, but I just picked up the guide finally, so I have like a book reference. There's always online guides for some of the tasks and whatnot, but I prefer to have like in front of me paper versions of things because it's just easier to keep track. I wrote about it for Sony Rumors. I wrote a very, very long Gaming with Heather post about it because it was so magical. Like, the whole game in general was incredible. And if you are a fan of JRPGs, or if you just love Studio Ghibli that much, you should pick it up. Like, stop what you're doing and buy it. You need to have it in your collection. It's beautiful. Amazing game. So there you have it, guys. Those are my games for 2013. Let me know in the comments below what your top 5 games were for 2013. I know it's really hard to narrow a handful of games down into a list. I'd prefer not to, but I thought it would be fun. So let me know what your picks are, and yeah, comment, like, and be sure to subscribe. Thanks, guys.